Is COD Mobile really pay to win? Well, make sure to stick around in this video as I give you my honest opinion on this controversial topic. Okay, so first we're going to talk about what advantage do mythic guns have on default or legendary guns. Well, in terms of pure stats, nothing. Every single stat is exactly the same as a default skin. And yeah, even auto signature attachments are all exactly the same as a default or legendary skin. So now the part is clear, let's get to the next topic. So now I'm going to show you what part is actually pay to win, and this includes mythic and legendaries. So let's talk about the aim shake. So if you didn't already know, aim shake is very different to recoil. This is recoil, and this is aim shake. As you may have noticed, the aim shake on the Kilo 141 and the Krieg 6 is very high, and when you combine that with poor iron sights, yeah, not great. I'll be talking about that later on. But compare this to the mythic versions, as you can see there's quite a noticeable difference with the Kilo, and that's obviously pay to win. With the Krieg, it's not so much of a difference, there's still a lot less aim shake, but it's still there. So one thing to note is that not all mythic guns are actually pay to win. Now the next pay to win feature in Codm are building iron sights. Now remember what I just said about the Kilo 141 and Krieg 6 having poor iron sights? Well, surprise surprise, getting a mythic solves all of that. I mean, just look at those mythic iron sights. So on top of having a cosmetic advantage, players can now free up that extra slot in their loadout. For example, instead of using up a slot in the gunsmith for a red dot, you already have a built-in iron sight, which allows you to then equip another attachment, therefore enhancing your weapon stats. And at this part, it's pretty hard to say that that's not pay to win. Honorable mentions go to the legendaries, who sometimes have red dots and sometimes have iron sights, but usually they're still better than default skins. I mean, you could even consider some epic skins to be pay to win. I mean, unless it's from a battle pass. But anyway, if the default blueprint's iron sights are actually that bad and messy, then anything can be basically pay to win at that point. Now, enter cosmetics and confidence. This part is largely based on the player. I personally get that extra confidence when I'm using a legendary or a mythic. Although the stats are exactly the same, it just feels very different and OP. Again, this part is very player and skill based, and at the end of the day, no matter how many potatoes or dog walkers there are on this generation of players, skill does matter. In conclusion, yes, mythics and legendaries are pay to win in Codm, but I mean, almost every single competitive video game is, so why should Codm be an exception? And amongst all the lows that this game is going through right now, all the potatoes, all the toxic classes getting buffed, skill still matters. So all that said, stay frosty, soldier.